Beyonce in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I didn't know that. What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
What's going on, motherfucker?
We got Mike being a little sus over here right now this morning.
Let me feel your energy. Come on.
Dude, damn. Okay. We might just use this shit already.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. Shit.
All right. So we are on episode fucking 10, bro, of Stogies and stuff. How the fuck is this actually becoming a thing, man?
I don't know, bro, but I like it.
We're growing subscribers. We're growing on topics. I mean, it's pretty easy to talk about things here in this fucking country of ours. There's always some fucking drama going on here. But, I mean, it's not like we're feeding off of the drama. It's just like, fuck, we're going to call it that bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm excited, man. Episode 10. Let's do this shit. Fuck.
Let's do it, baby. Yeah, let's do it, baby. Yeah, I mean, bro, fuck. This thing, man. I was watching the news the other day and I saw guy ejects from F-35 pilot because he quote unquote like lost control, and I was like, what the fuck? What does that even mean? Lost control,
dude. Where's my jet? Ever seen
where's
that? Where's my jet? Dude, where's my car? All right, some of y'all might get this reference, others you might not. You know,
yeah,
jet.
It was the F-35.
So shit, man. Guy really has no idea what happened to his jet. He fucking ejected, right?
Yeah, he was forced to eject, and that's a direct quote from the Marine Corps official. He told the Military Times, and the quote that you can take away from that was that the pilot was forced to eject after a malfunction with the plane.
Yeah, man.
Now, do you guys realize how blanket of a statement that is? Like forced to eject after a malfunction with the plane. Well, what fucking malfunction are they talking about? Well, apparently this guy just lost control of his F-35. That's what the pilot said. And there was actually the 911 recording just got released, right?
Yes, it did. I'm actually pulling that up as we speak. Let's see.
Right that way we can play it so the people can hear it, bro.
I guess we got a pilot at our house and he says he got ejected. So he ejected from the plane. So we just see if we could get some ambulance, please.
I'm sorry, what happened?
We had a military jet crash. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. It would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected.
It remains unclear why the pilot ejected from that.
So he's already assuming that the F-35 crashed. Right when he injected. I'm the pilot. We need to get rescue rolling. I'm not sure where the airplane is. The pilot can be heard saying it would have crash landed somewhere. I ejected. Well, evidently that wasn't the cce.
Yeah, it was lost for
like 24 hours or so?
48 hours.
48 hours.
They were looking for it.
So this thing's this is the level of technology behind these F-35s. There's only a few certain countries that have this.
Right,
access
correct.
to this. And I think they range anywhere from $80 to $100 million just to fucking have for each one.
I mean, for y'all that's exactly correct. And for y'all that aren't aware, it's Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin is one of the biggest private contractors that makes these highly intelligent, highly specialized equipment for the United States and other countries like France, you name it. These F-35 guys are no joke. They're world-class machines for war. I mean, that's what they are. And the U.S., I mean, as y'all are well aware, it spends almost $1 trillion a year in defense, in its government and in its military, specifically for defense and for upkeeping that, right? But going into that, Lockheed Martin makes these. And the thing about these aircraft is they have a very complex system. And for short, it's ALIS. And what ALIS stands for is Autonomic Logistics Information System. Now, think about it, guys. So this thing is so highly complex that it has to have its own software, its own logistics system to make sure that its operations and the management of those operations are kept in place. But the problem with the high complexity of the ALIS system, which I already told you is named earlier, is that there are CPEs. And what a CPE stands for is central points of entry. So just a quick 101, guys. Whenever you have a highly complex software and management system, it's very intricate. And the more intricate it is, the more CPEs there are, entry points, because there's more likelihood for failure in certain areas of any given part of that software or network system. And the more CPEs there are, the more potential failures there are, the more potential failures there are, failure points, the more entry points for hijackers or hackers. Now, I'm oversimplifying it, but what I'm basically saying is that there's more holes created for people that are highly advanced in cybersecurity, cyber safeguard measures, and bypassing those to enter into those points.
Russia. I'm just kidding. China. AI. Name it. The list is growing. I mean, look, guys, the rumor is it actually got hacked. That's the rumor. There's and they're saying it's going to take months of investigation to actually know this, right? So, I mean, fuck, we really don't know what the fuck happened. All we know is that's a big threat. And Mike, you fucking gave a detailed and simplified it, but a great breakdown of how that's even capable and how complex that actually is to even make that actually happen, right? So, if this shit did get hacked, I mean, fuck, bro, that's raising a lot of red flags for us. I mean, shit just goes back to hey, we need to take how we manage our country very serious. And from my understanding, what I was reading while you were bringing this up, I think the whole military or the Marine Corps branch, they're going back into training, pretty much looking into the jets, but also going back over standard practices that these pilots are trained to go over just to make sure that there isn't any more issues with these kind of mishaps, the jets. Last thing we need is more F-35s going missing. Fuck. I mean, let's just say this was hacked by someone and now they're controlling the jet and hey, fuck, some other kind of terrorist shit happens, man. They go after some kind of Capitol building or some kind of skyscraper that's got thousands of people in it, man. That's the scary part. So we got to kill that. We got to just, I don't know, man. It's a backdoor for hackers. That's exactly right. New level of scare for me over here, man. Luckily, we're in the Rio Grande Valley. Nobody gives a fuck about us. We're just Mexicans.
I mean, yeah, no shit, right? Mestizos. I mean, you hit it spot on, bro, because, I mean, it's not a coincidence that this is happening right now. Look what's happening in Vegas. I think the MGM casino was being hacked, and they were losing
they were covering that, right?
Yeah, and they were losing something like almost 10 million a day from the cyber hacks, the cyber attacks. So, guys, it's not a coincidence that happened there, and then this is happening with the F-35. There is definitely cyber attacks that we're aware of and cyber attacks that we aren't aware of that's going on. And obviously, the government covers it up to not cause a public scare, but it doesn't take much to connect the dots. And as long as you're willing to connect those dots or look into it like the way we did with a brief look into it, if I'm not mistaken, right, Mo?
That's right.
We looked into it and, sure enough, you're able to find out what these ALIS and CPEs within the ALIS are. And if you've got governments that are spending billions within their own funding themselves to come up with advanced AI, come up with individuals to run that advanced AI or monitor it, it's kind of hard to not think that potentially hackers are doing this. And not just independent hackers, but government-funded hackers, whether it's China, Russia, who knows. But everybody wants to spy on each other. Everybody wants to know what's up with each other. And what best way to do that than to use an ALIS system with CPEs that have access to secured and unsecured servers, or top secret and non-secret servers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Entry point's an entry point, guys. And, I mean, it's like the Trojan horse, right? There is viruses that are called Trojan horses. They just get into your system, and once they're in, they're in. So that's the kind of the...
Kill them from within, man.
That's right.
Destroy them from within. It's just... we're being very naive nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it's about time we quit that shit. Woke. Be woken. We call upon you.
We call upon you.
Let's go, baby.
Woke. Be woken. We call upon you. Call upon them, bro.
Why aren't you guys making enough noise about this shit? Fuck.
No shit.
I mean, I care about y'all's gender too, but fuck, I care about our security.
No shit. I mean, speaking of security and individuals with running higher governments, bro. Did you hear about that shit Adin Ross
I knew you were going to bring that shit up. I knew you. We walked in. I said, hey, Mike, here's your coffee. Took that extra shot of espresso. I gave it to him without him even knowing. But it's working, evidently. First thing he said, bro, Adin Ross, Kim Jong Un, like, what the fuck? And you know what? I didn't even know Andrew Tate made a slight appearance too.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, what the
was
fuck?
fucking
What's going
hilarious.
on? But it reminds me of the whole movie back in the day, The Interview, how that caused like...
Yes, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah, he took it so personal back then. The leader of North Korea, right? Name that shall not be spoken. But, you know, man, this guy... Well, it was fucking hilarious. I think what made it for me was the fact that Andrew Tate showed up for a bit, but it was man, it was hilarious. I'm gonna play the clip here real quick so we can show it and react to it at the same time. Hold on. Right there, pulling it up on the screen.
That's fucking hilarious, bro.
And let's play.
I mean, look at that. He is She's upstart.
You know, let me tell you all a quick story. I had no money at all when I was growing up in Luton on a council estate with a single mother with no money. I had all these dreams of what I'd do if I ever got rich. Andrew, if you make hundreds of millions of dollars, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Turns out I go to Romanian jail and get woken up at 3 a.m. by Adin Ross to come and talk to a Kim Jong Un impersonator. I'm going to do my crisis now. What am I doing? I am filthy rich. What am I doing with my life?
You know, man, I gotta...
That's a fucking prank of a...
It's
like think about it, bro. No, go for it.
No, bro, it's fucking hilarious, man. The thing is, it fucking broke so many records. I think this was...
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it broke so many viewing records, I think, off of Kick. I think that's a platform he used. And so, guys, for you guys who don't know Adin Ross, I mean, he's just I guess the social influencer.
Yeah.
Tate's got this tarnished image as toxic masculinity, but in reality, all he is just calling people out for their bullshit. I think that's the gist of it all, which I appreciate.
Right.
But and then Kim Jong Un, at least this impersonator, like
This impersonator.
fucking funny, man. I mean, shit. I think it's a waste of time, but hey, you know, it's just. Yeah, man, that just goes a lot to show you the power of influence that you can have nowadays on media, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, I tuned in at first, not live.
Not live? Oh, I was like, you were
But I
live?
saw it, and then as soon as I saw that dude pop up, I was like, nah, no. I got off of it. But, bro, this fucking actor, it reminded me of what you said, that movie with James Franco.
Yeah,
The Interview?
Guys, you got to check
Right?
that movie out. They don't
Yeah,
make
you
movies
do.
like that anymore.
They don't. But what we got, there's a fucking line from that movie, bro. What is it? Honey dicked. We got honey dick, man.
I remember that part.
So there's a part.
We watched this movie.
Remember, because they were asked to be basically like confidential spies, or just spies, because I guess spy already means you're confidential, right? But they were asked to be spies on behalf of the U.S. government because they got this interview with Kim Jong Un. And the way they did it was they used a female agent, and the female agent basically got to James Franco and said, "Hey, will you do this for us or whatever?" And of course, he's like, "Yeah, of course I'll do this for our country." And then what's his name? The dude with the awkward laugh,
Seth
Rogen. There you
Yeah.
go. He's like, "Dude, she's honey dicking you, man." like no. He's like, "No, come on, man. It's." I'm probably getting it all wrong. That's exactly how I remember it in my head, though.
You know, I want to rewatch it. It's been some time, but
honey
it's
dicking.
fucking hilarious,
and
bro.
Adin Ross honey dicked us, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He put this whole thing. I'm gonna have Kim Jong Un interviewed, whatever. I'm gonna do this, and what do you know? We get this fucking guy who looks like Kim Jong Un, I guess. and-
I wonder if Kim Jong Un saw this.
well,
bro.
yeah, he
Oh,
did. Apparently, he said that there's going to be some retaliation on his part.
Oh shit.
What that means, who knows? The dude can't. I mean, I'm not gonna talk shit about the guy because I don't want to retaliate.
We're gonna show up on his hit list, bro.
Yeah, no shit. But they can't even get a missile across the fucking
I know.
body of water, you know? So what that means, who knows? Adin Ross probably have to leave the country to really find out what he means by that. But I doubt that's happening. But anyway, that shit was fucking hilarious, dude. And when I saw that snippet of Tate that you just pulled up,
Yeah.
Tate couldn't even hold his composure, bro. He's just like, what the fuck is going on, you know?
Fucking hilarious, dude. But I mean, I don't want to say that's the beauty of you being able to have your own freedom of speech, you know, but it's just an example of,
Yeah.
you know, an example of it. That's the freedom you guys have, okay? And again, you don't have to watch it. It's not like you guys are forced to watch this stuff. like Mike said, he joined in and got on out. But that's your freedom, guys. You need to practice it, respect it. I mean, if you don't respect it in a way that if you don't agree with it, just fucking say, hey, I don't agree to this. I don't partake. I'll move on over. But again, this comes down to why we even have our podcast to begin with. What inspired us all, man. Stogies and stuff is just our freedom of speech. Right? What's the importance of that, Mike? That's fucking important.
It's a democracy. It's what enables a democracy. Having a voice heard. You know, it goes down, guys. Like I said before in a prior video, there's a reason why it's called the First Amendment. I'd like to say that it piggybacks off of the Bill of Rights. And when you realize that the whole point of a democracy is having a voice and making sure that the people decide what's better for the people rather than certain people deciding what's best for the overall people is what it's all about. Now, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, the large numbers, right? I mean, there's hundreds of millions of people here in the United States. You need to have representatives. But each one of those representatives needs to be a proponent of freedom of speech. They need to be able to hear their people and properly advocate on behalf of those people.
You know what's going on right now, right?
And what's that?
Have you heard about the whole Russell Brand Rumble response and all this stuff?
Yes, I have, bro.
Yeah, so that's
ridiculous.
initially why this is important, what we're doing here. Because who knows, man? I mean, anybody else that wants to talk their mind, their opinion, you guys are about to be shut down if you allow bullshit like this.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right.
So,
I mean, what is it, bro, that came about? I heard there's accusations, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what there's going on. So it starts off with some accusations, but initially what's being done is this is going on over there in the UK. Now, obviously, I bring this up because the UK's relationship with the United States, regardless, is very strong. So they have an influence on how they run their people and how we're run by our government as well, right? So nonetheless, there's an agenda. So what they're doing is, unfortunately, it seems like this has just become a thing. But Russell Brand is being accused of sexually assaulting women from, I believe the source is telling me, from 2006 to 2013, there was about 4 different women that came about saying that they were sexually assaulted, right? Granted, this comes down to the whole, we're U.S. citizens, innocent until proven guilty, right? But the UK's parliament is demanding that Rumble pretty much take down Russell Brand's channel, right?
Yeah.
Demonetize him, kill his voice, make sure he is no longer relevant. He talks about a lot of cool things, guys. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, I know Mike and I just recently opened up, which is coming your way soon, but we just opened up a Rumble account for Stogies and stuff. It seems like there's a lot of people making their way that way. But what I'm trying to get at is Rumble had a response back because they got a letter from Parliament saying, hey, are you guys going to do something about this? Can we count on you to pretty much take them down?
Right,
so we can demonetize him, censor his shit. But Russell Brand talks about a lot of different things, big pharma topics, government conspiracies, I believe. But the thing is, he doesn't even label them as conspiracies. He'll try his best to throw out facts. This guy woke up. That's the true woke. This guy was an actor, comedy.
Big time Hollywood.
Exactly. And, he's been exposing a lot of truths on his end, showing facts, getting some good people on there, showing up on certain media outlets, telling people why you're making a mockery of me. Why? Or of the people. But what I thought was really cool was Rumble's response, man.
Yeah.
Their response was, I'll sum it all up. They go over everything that Parliament sent over, and then to end it all up, they put, although it may be politically and socially easier for Rumble to join a cancel culture, because that's initially what we've got going on right now, guys. Cancel culture. First episode we threw out, what happened? We got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Because
they
of the
even
damn
fucking tried
thing.
removing the channel.
Because of the thing.
Because of
the
thing.
C thing. That's it. Boom. Mike, thank God you took care of that with your fucking response on their own policies. It's like, hey, you better bring up our shit, or guess what? You're getting fucking sued too. And then anyways, it's easy for them to join a cancel culture mob. Doing so would be a violation of our company's values and missions. We empathetically reject the UK's Parliament's demands. I think that response was just fucking great, bro. They reminded them, hey, we have our own values and missions, and they have every right to practice their own value and mission. And so I think they handled that very well. But I mean, like I said, Mike, well, like you were just talking about, the importance of our First Amendment, man. Freedom of speech, bro.
Yeah, bro, I really liked your rant, man, because that's exactly what it's all about. I mean, it's starting to become more of a, I guess the word would be opposite of democracy. I mean, guys, obviously the UK is a monarchy. So, I mean, they have the parliament. It's a kind of a hybrid democratic area because they still have the king right now, King Charles. But system's sort of the same way as here in the United States. And when it comes down to it, what they're really trying to base this entire letter on is that bill they passed in the United Kingdom. Now, I'm not going to interpret the bill at length because obviously an entire Congress put into it what they needed to, but the policy basically is to prevent children from being exposed to things that are, whether it's indecent.
They call it
things,
the UK's online safety bill. That's
right.
what it is. That's what
UK's online safety bill. And the policy behind it is to protect children from being exposed to these things, whether it's indecent exposure of people or whatever the case may be. The idea is to protect the children from what that is. But the problem with that bill is the government becomes the arbiter of what that is.
Yes.
It's an arbitrary outlook in this because it's like if a shoelace of someone really is bad for children because I say it is, then I don't want people to see that shoelace. It's ridiculous, but that's how ridiculous that this can be. Now, granted, the policy of it is probably off of a good cause.
Well, yeah,
right?
they're quote unquote, because I literally just pulled it up too, is they're aiming quote unquote the safest place in the world to be online. So UK is trying to say, hey, our country is going to be the safest place to be functioning online. So that's the way they're trying to campaign it as, the safest place. But in reality, just to sum it all up, just more censorship.
Well, right, because look, guys, I mean, a lot of you might not realize this, but it's not a bad thing.
Well, no, but think about it. Who does that already? China.
Yeah, and what are they? Exactly. So
Communist.
That's right. And what communist is basically everybody asks for a handout. And it's like, government, take care of me, and in exchange, like, you are the master.
You know? Exactly.
But if and granted, I mean, I don't live in the UK, but if the UK people allow for this to happen, like, yes, then what's next? Okay, you know what? You guys agree with this? Then also, you know what? You guys also can't talk about this and that because we believe it's good for you guys. Oh, well, shit. Well, now you got us by the fucking balls because if I was okay with this earlier and now I take the position that I don't like this, it's like, well, you were okay with that earlier. Why don't you agree with this now? So everybody's kind of shooting themselves in the foot by not raising an uproar about this. Now, I'm not saying to go riot and fucking do any of this. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is really question everything and each motive and why it's done. Congress might have a policy, but the people really pushing this bill or whatever the online safety bill may have had a different agenda and just use this as a Trojan horse. Keeping that same motto, you got to be careful with the Trojan horses, guys. And the way you spot Trojan horses is motive. Look at the people behind it pushing whatever it is that's being pushed, and look at what they're probably needing done. And if you're able to look at that generally, then you're able to do an in-depth or deep dive into why they're wanting to do that. And that is what the motive is. It's the same tactic for cross-examination during any trial or hearing, whatever the case may be. One of the bases of cross-examination is finding the motive or bias. And when you're able to locate that, you find out the bias and you discredit the witness, or aka impeach the witness. So it's a tactic, guys, and it is probably being done, but you need to be able to spot it. And the way you spot it is just the first step to spotting it is questioning. Don't just ever take anything on its face value. You question it.
So, fuck, Mike. Always spitting out facts, bro. Spitting out that word.
Damn right.
Powerful messages, man. Question everything. I'm about to question this shit. You know what I'm about to question?
What,
all right,
bro?
we elect these government officials, right? Right now we're talking about UK, but let's go back to the United States. The Americas. The greats. Leaders of this world. Being that we are talking about leaders and stuff. See about how Senate's dropping dress code. Forgot the individual that's pushing for this. What's his name? I didn't come
Well,
across
I
it.
don't remember if he's pushing for it, but he definitely, you can say if it wasn't
definitely playing the
publicly,
part, man.
he was definitely probably the one pushing behind it behind the scenes was John Fetterman. That's the senator, the huge guy that you always see standing behind Joe Biden, where they're speaking gibberish with each other.
Yeah.
Like they're always just, they can't get a coherent sentence out to save their life. Now, I'm not saying nobody ever has an episode like that, but guys, come on.
It's consistently now.
Guys, we need to have individuals coherent, not just coherent individuals, but we need to have competent individuals representing us. And whether that's someone better than all of us, right, is subjective. But nonetheless, we need to be able to have people that are up there that are able to get a message across, And the Fetterman.
So they want to
John
take away the dress
Fetterman.
code, guys. They want
They want to
to
get rid of the fucking senator
these
dress
people.
code.
These people that you or that we. I'm sorry, we the people. These people that we the people are electing into these government powers, right? To these chairs that have so much responsibilities and powers and we look to them for leadership and to have a voice to govern us, right? That we trust, are trying to give away, how can I say, no, take away their responsibilities on how they should be, I guess, conducting business, And a lot of you might say, hey, get over it. It's just a dress code. But no, man.
It's not just a dress code.
That's their suit of armor.
That's exactly
They
right.
represent us. Shit, man. I mean, who are you going to trust? Someone that's in joggers and an oversized hoodie? Or I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Shit, that can be very fashionable.
For casual
Shit.
wear.
Casual wear. You can do whatever you want in your own time. Dress however you want. They're allowed to do that, evidently. But during office hours, during business hours, during hours of true leadership, fuck no. Get your ass in a suit. Stay in that bitch.
Bro, like you hit it right on the nail because think about it. There's a reason why there's even dubs of casual wear, business attire, formal wear. But what does this do? It destroys all of that. Think about it. Now that which was a surprise move is my understanding, and it's already being dubbed as the Fetterman rule. So you were onto something, bro. It's being dubbed the Fetterman rule. But they're eliminating classes. They're eliminating, and not entirely, right? But they're eliminating the dress classes of casual, formal by doing this. And whether it was inadvertent or intentional, which I'd like to lean on the intentional aspect, because nothing's ever done out of no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're eliminating the need for this whole casual and formal wear because now that anybody can just wear, well, then what? Is all of it considered formal wear now? Is all of it considered casual wear? Where is the line drawn? And you mentioned a good thing earlier, bro, the suit of armor. That's exactly correct. I mean, guys, look, as you all know, and if you don't know, I'm an attorney. And whenever I go to the courtroom, which is often, there's a dress code for the attorneys, as well as for the individual clients we represent, but it's not as high. It's expected, but whatever a client can wear, whatever they can bring, right? But if you're an attorney, you're expected to wear a suit and a tie, period. Now, why is that? It's because you're representing the interests of your client. And not only do you represent yourself as an individual, but you represent what the client is. And whether it's a criminal case of innocent or guilty, you are a representation of that, of your client. And if you just have any senator wearing a big shirt, big shorts, or whatever the case may be, to each their own, but not to a senator. You have to have an image of a high status. You have to have the image of representing hundreds of thousands, whatever state you're from, whether it's hundreds of thousands or millions of people if you're a senator of New York, right, or Iowa, some other small state, depends on who you represent. You need to make a good first impression and a lasting impression. And how do you do that? At its basic form, your attire. Your attire is what represents you. And if you have a very loose attire, then shit, good luck. Good luck coming off. You've already created an extra hurdle for yourself. People are already perceiving you to be some laid back, whatever the case may be person. But why create that extra burden or barrier for yourself?
There's no need, man.
It comes down to that book, bro, The Alter Ego Effect.
Oh, hell yeah.
And, I don't know if you want to give people some insight on that, dude, but it's basically like, what is it?
The alter ego effect. It's pretty much, look, you're going to have different roles for different situations that you need to be tested at. And so it's not look, we'll go ahead and get into that next topic next. But what I want to get back at is, guys, I understand the fact that, you know, people should want to be dressed comfortably now. I just keep hearing happy, comfort all the time. People's actions behind that stuff. And they're trying to change, I guess you can say, the classes or categories now that are labeled, because this is going to be a thing now. Oh, okay, what's to say? So now we got to take the labels of what's business attire, what's casual attire. Why can't it just be attire in itself, right? You know, a class of dress. And it's what it represents, as Mike was talking about. Bust out your alter ego. Your ego is, hey, you know what? You are right now, today, in office, you are the leader of this country, or the leader of a local government or state, etc. You have certain responsibilities, a fiduciary duty. You decided to run for this. Whether you were lobbied or whatever, at the end of the day, you made the decision that, hey, I'm going to go ahead and represent us. I'm going to take care of this image. I'm going to make sure people take us serious. Because that's the reason why we got everybody walking over us now. We're getting too damn soft. We're trying to be comfortable. We're trying to be happy. That's not what initially these leadership roles were. If you volunteered or you said, hey, I'm going to step up to this plate, you understood that there was going to be stress, nonstop stress. And you were going to have to present yourself, not only yourself, but your family in a certain way for as long as your term was, right? Until, hey, you know what? Let's say you've had enough. Then you know what? You can say, all right, I'm stepping back. But it's not staying in power just to be comfortable there. No, you have your fiduciary duty. You have a certain image you need to take. And if you don't want it, move on out of there. Let somebody else that's willing to take onto that part do what they're supposed to do. But just like us, I mean, unless you want to make your own podcast and talk about any other things you want to talk about. I mean, Mike and I are casual right now, but hey, we're speaking our own opinion. We're in our own office. Everything we have is ours. And if whoever we have people following us on our end, great. You know what I mean? Unless you all want to see us wearing some suits, fuck it. I'll be here with a suit. You down, Mike?
I wear that every day.
Exactly. Every day, Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's the announcement then.
That's right. We're going to wear suits.
Suits time, baby.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, guys. And just remember.
During office hours.
That's right. During office hours. But just remember, this isn't just here. This goes back all the way to the Roman times.
Oh.
Senators were a
I
class
like that you bring
of
that
people,
up.
And they were seen at the emperor's level. And what they wore was essentially a broad purple stripe on their tunic, particular sandals, and a gold ring. Why was that? Why did a senator need to wear that? It's because it was a social class. It goes a little bit deeper for the Romans, but they actually maintained their integrity of keeping a certain stature for yourself. Now, I'm not saying in the sense of an overall class that everybody should stay middle, you stay poor, you stay rich. That's not to be misconstrued that way at all. But particularly for the senators in the context of the United States, the elected position of the senators, taking everything my brother just said into that, that's the reason why it's important to maintaining that appearance. You have a fucking fiduciary duty to represent us as individuals. Because let's face it, guys, scrutiny does not just come from the United States people, but the world's looking at us. And the world looks at us as the premier country to try to be. And we need to maintain that status if we want to keep being the premier country.
You know, man, and this just gets me to ask the question: How is this behavior even coming about? There's a root to it all, right? And right. I think we could we can talk about this a bit. And I think, sorry, I keep saying I think. I'm just gonna flat out say it. It just comes down to becoming a man, right? Yeah. What's the guide nowadays to becoming a man? Because it seems like now there's a lot of this behavior of just changing what's expected for our roles in leadership, responsibilities and everything. Everybody's just trying to bring it down and say, hey, you know what? I'm not happy. I'm not comfortable. I'm going to break this trend, and it's a bad thing to look at. So it comes down to the very root of how you're brought up, right?
Right.
And again, I'd like to talk about, the last thing I'd maybe like to talk about today is how we can stop things like this. It just comes down to it all, guys. Becoming a man, right? Let's go ahead and I don't know. This is going to come all from my own opinion. And Mike, I'd like for you to share yours also. What is it now to becoming a man? I think there should be a certain understanding to this. And I think it starts from the very beginning, which is what's causing all this problem now, right? Acknowledging that there is a gender difference.
Now,
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Male and female.
yeah, that is definitely one of the
It
first
starts off
things.
from there. All right.
Right.
Know that there is a difference. There's a man and there's a female. A
Yes,
male and a female.
biologically.
That's it, right?
Yes.
There's going to be unique strengths that men have and unique strengths that women have. Roles that we can't fulfill that they can, and vice versa.
Right.
Roles that women can fulfill that we can't. And that's okay. That's not a bad thing. You know, if you want to try and fulfill those roles, go ahead. You're entitled to do so. But don't say that, hey, you know what? All masculine shit is bullshit. That's not the way it works. Everybody's trying to make it extreme left or extreme right. There are balances to bullshit. I mean, bullshit to this shit, right? So I'm just thinking all this shit's bullshit, but there are balances to this shit. And so I think that's where it first starts off. Understanding your role, that there is a difference in gender, male and female.
Right. Guys, I don't give a shit what you identify as. Biologically speaking, it is male and female. Literally. If it's XX, you're a female. If it's XY, you're a male. Period. Show me biologically speaking how you can be anything else. You can't. It's a rule. Now, understanding that rule, what does that mean? You're either a male or a female, period. Okay? And the reason why that's important is because men, we're talking about duties. You have a duty. You have a duty to be a man. And what does being a man mean? It means dealing with traumatic events in a very stoic manner. And being composed and being the leader of your family or any given group that you have. That's my definition of what a man is. If you have a different definition, I'd be happy to entertain it and we can have a discussion about it. But I do think that trauma and discipline are what lead a boy into becoming a man.
And that's what I'd like to add on next. So the understanding of gender roles right now, right? For the better good, right? Mm-hmm. Personal development is the next thing. You're talking about discipline, right? Emotional control and discipline. Well, how do those two come in hand? One, how do you practice discipline or develop discipline? Biggest thing that I've been able to practice, and you as well, which we're still working on a daily, is habits. What are your daily habits, right? How do those habits then contribute towards your growth, your personal growth, right?
Right.
And so you practice those good habits, because there are good and bad habits. I'm not saying, just have a habit and it's going to make you into an overall good man or a good person or a good woman. That's not the way it works. You understand what's good and what's bad. What do I mean by good? What I mean by good is if you understand that you have a certain position and certain responsibilities in relationships, personal work, whether you're leading a group or yourself to take it to the next level, what do you got to do to exceed or accomplish these goals? Wake up earlier. Keep yourself healthy. What do I mean by healthy? Okay, usually physical, not only emotional, is what you have to practice. So wake up early, get your workout in,
Right.
Get those dopamines in,
Yeah, exactly.
get the day started earlier, work more. Why is hard work looked down on now? There's nothing wrong with working hard. Identify your weaknesses, overcome them, right? Nowadays, everybody is so caught up on social media, TikTok, that they no longer get the opportunity to self-reflect. Okay, what is wrong with me? What can I do better?
Right.
Do I need to read more books? Do I need to improve the way I communicate? What new line of work do I want to enter now that I can educate myself with, so that I can approach my business in that manner now next?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Habits, weaknesses, embracing hard work. Again, hard work isn't anything bad to look down on. People's like, you're working too hard. Balance. There's no such thing as balance. Unless you want to become, there's entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs. Sure, if you want to be an intrapreneur and work on it, at least you understand that that's what you want. You want something from 9 to 5, but you'll work your fucking hardest, and that's it. But you can't claim that you want to be a leader and change things for the good, but make everything the same.
Right.
It all comes down to communism, guys. And then you want to be rewarded for communism? I mean, what did you expect with Biden's run? That's exactly what you're getting right now. What did you expect? Inflation. We're going to take everything away from you and say, hey, this is what you're allowed right now.
Yeah,
Here's government's help. That's why we're in all this bullshit. I mean, we don't know what we want. We don't have an understanding of our roles anymore. We're getting rid of these responsibilities. We're saying, hey, you know what? care to have these responsibilities. We shouldn't have them. Fuck that. Fuck your happiness. Fuck your pride. I mean, fuck your happiness. Fuck your comfort. Be proud.
Yes.
Be proud of yourself.
Every
you know?
man needs to have pride.
Protect the innocence of children. That's when it comes down to men's roles. I'll go down to it. I'm not saying women can't do the same. I'm just saying it's expected of men. You have a family, you expect to be able to protect that innocence of the children.
That's right. A woman nurtures, a man protects.
Exactly.
Period.
Man. Raise strong and capable sons. Raise them to be the next generation of strong men. Right?
Damn right.
Make them masculine. Fuck it. You know, be part of a masculine brotherhood too. Surround yourself with people that have that same mentality.
You are what you surround yourself
exactly,
with.
Man. If you're around yourself weak men, what the fuck are you gonna become?
And look, if you're a proponent of Darwinism and everything, then what you know is this: survival of the fittest. Men will survive because men can deal with trauma in the way that they need to further the family or to protect the family. Whatever a non-man doesn't do or does do, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, right? I guess we're already seeing it.
No, we are. I mean, that's the reason we're all in this.
And that's why we're going to fucking crumble.
That's exactly right, bro.
Because
that is exactly right.
They're trying to kill off the man. And this whole traditional man or new age man, however you want to label it, is bullshit. A man is a man, and a man protects. And if you can't do that, then you need to figure it out. And you need to figure out what's going to make you a man. I mean, guys, in my opinion, there's a reason why, whether you're going to be a police officer, a federal agent, whatever you're going to be, there's always a period of training. Have you ever noticed that? If you look at it, even down to the Spartan times, they would take them away as children and put them in camps to train. But why would they do that? That's the trauma. That's the triggering a trauma response to something, and to create discipline and composure in reacting to that trauma. And what does it do? It's like a rite of passage. It triggers in your mind the discipline and the trauma, and it triggers this entire concept of, I'm locked in. I know what I need to do. I have my purpose. I am now a man. Now, there's no bright line rule to it, guys. You can apply it across the spectrum. The point is, you need to figure out what your rite of passage is going to be. Take cultures, for example. You know, I just mentioned earlier Sparta, the Spartans. They would be taken as children from their mothers, and they would go through a rigorous camp, survival of the fittest. But think of those cultures and think of what they do. They have a rite of passage. What's going to be your rite of passage towards becoming a man? Women, I'm not talking to you. Aside from that, you figure out your own stuff. I'm talking to the men right now, or the people the young men that want to be men. What are you going to go through? What are you willing to go through in order to become that man? In order to become the leader that you were born to be? Because it's all in us, guys. You just got to find it. What are you going to do about it?
I like that, bro. I like that. So
You just got to figure it out.
I mean, I'd like to add some more towards that. It comes down to the commitments, and the honor behind it all. You know, uphold yourself to those commitments, right?
Right.
Stay true to your word and fulfill those promises, right? There's honor behind that shit, and I think the way you can hold yourself committed to that is by, it's simple, the simple foundation of goal setting and achievements, right? And so. There's an ability to alleviate yourself from the guilt of resisting urges and desires, right? Working towards completing goals, enhancing the positivity of your life. It just goes hand in hand. You know, you pin the rewards and objectives, you pin those, and you make sure you earn them. Why? Because once you earn something, I mean, it's like this. Simply said, there's a lot more respect given to someone, and I'm just going to use this because it's something that we're already a part of. Naturally, right now, you and I are working towards a goal to become more physically fit. Right? Now, you have to earn that shit. It's not like you can just, I mean, we can try and do what everybody else does, just have surgery, liposuction, and then, hey, you know, you kind of have like you have the appearance on it, and when you're in clothes, but once you take it off, just be honest, it looks a little weird sometimes, right? And so you didn't earn that shit. But when you
like
fucking
that.
sculpt that body, you put in the work, you put in the sweat, it's like, oh shit, like, fuck, it's a lot more rewarding. You feel more pride, you know. After the pride comes the happiness, but you can never stay comfortable to maintain that shit. You have to be on top of it 24/7.
Nobody wants to put in that hard work anymore, bro.
So just go over this bullshit. I mean, just go over this shit right now, guys. How do you make these changes right now as men? Focus on what you can take immediate action on right now. There's two things, goals and actions that you can take immediate action right now, and then there's goals that you can work on that require, how can I say this? It constantly, what the heck is it? What the heck is the word? Where the progress just adds on itself. Compounded. Fuck, man, shit. It's compounded interest, right?
You defined
it adds up, bro. It adds up,
right.
and then those will be your long-term benefits afterwards. You focus on the immediate actions for the immediate goals that can come about. Win in the day, you win the fucking week, ladies and gentlemen. What happens after you win the week? You win the fucking month. What happens after you win the month? You win the fucking year. After year happens, I mean, you're winning every other year just with that same method. Your life's gonna get fucking better.
It is naturally, guys. It's not over. Don't overcomplicate it. Just be better. And what is being better? It's highly subjective to what you do on a daily. If you're working out, how do you become better? Always try to get that extra rep in. You create new limits for yourself. You constantly break your prior limit and create a new limit. And what does that do? Compounded interest.
Failure, baby. There you go. Compounded
You keep
interest.
getting better. That's it, guys. There's nothing more to it. The constant motto here that we have is be better.
Be better. You know, Mike and I were having a conversation again this morning, and I was like, dude, you know what I find so funny? I'll never actually put an exact label over what it is that I do, but I told Mike, hey, you know what? The next time somebody asks me, hey, man, well, what exactly do you do? Like, I see you're growing. I see you and your brother growing, but how are you doing, or what exactly are you doing? And my response is just going to be from now on, hey, man, I just make shit better. I just get shit done. Like, my thing is going to be, I just make shit better. And how do I do that? By following these things that we talk about, you know, having the right mindset, questioning everything, right? Why are certain things happening the way that they are right now? What can be done better? As we keep saying here on our YouTube channel, be better. That's going to be our shit. But my shit's going to be, I just make shit better. Mike should be, I just close shit. I make shit happen.
Get it done, baby.
It's just we're in the mindset right now of just getting shit done. We're going to speak our voice and our opinions. And you guys might not agree with what we're talking about. I'm going to keep saying that shit. I'm going to remind you guys before you guys try and cancel us next.
Yeah.
Say, you guys don't have to agree with us.
I don't even want you to just agree. I want you to fucking question us. Like, why is it that you guys think that? We practice what we preach, guys. Question us.
Exactly.
Question it.
And we can still respect each other. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
You get me? I mean, what was it? We've been experimenting a lot with YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
And we've been getting a lot of comments, some comments that support our opinions and others that oppose them. And one of them that stuck out to me, we were talking about our own culture. We're, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're Mexican. We're Hispanics, to be exact. So Mike broke it down to further down our roots, going back down to our ancestors. Mm-hmm. And so there was a point where we were talking about the Native Americans, right? And what culture do you want us to touch? You know, back opening up people's chests and taking them off those hearts and all this stuff. Let's be a savage or let's be a little bit more civil. Those are our roots. We started getting comments down where, oh, that's so disrespectful. I'm like, you know what? You have that opinion, but if we want to go down to it, if you got what rights we have to speak, we can talk about our own culture if we want, however we please. I mean, one thing is we can say that we have a little bit more weight on it because shit, man, when we did the 23andMe, shit, I'm like, as far as Native American or the bloodline that we have in us, it was like over 45% that we have in us.
Pretty much a split, bro. 50-50.
45, somewhere around there. We were just 5 or 6% away from being completely categorized as what I say we can touch, being a complete Native American. I mean, because we're just slightly below half. So we can talk about ourselves the way we want, and you guys don't have to like it, But at the same time, don't try and cancel us just because we're
Right.
talking about ourselves, who we are, and what we represent, right?
Right. And I'll tell you what, if you've got a comment to make, then I'm always gonna ask you why.
Why? Question
Like, for
everything.
that comment, disrespectful. I was like, why?
How?
You know, right? How? Like, be ready to substantiate what you say, because all we were speaking was facts when it came to that particular thing you were talking about, Maudy.
That's right.
Obviously, you can get an opinion from facts, right? And that's your interpretation of the facts. So don't get them confused. But sometimes facts are facts, guys.
That's right.
And it's objectively known. That's what makes it a fact.
You gotta stop being so damn sensitive about it.
Yeah, no
Fuck,
shit.
man. Look, we have a lot of friends that don't necessarily have our beliefs, and we respect theirs. And I like to think Mike and I get along with everybody, guys. We're
Yeah, we do.
we're not serious, complete serious people. We take our business very serious. We like to lead people genuinely, right? Good ethics and everything of the sort. But at the same time, we don't appreciate abuse. I think naturally Mike and I have always gone against bullies. And who are the bullies right now? Cancel culture. And what do
Yes.
they represent? A minority.
Right.
You've said it countless times, Mike. A minority.
Yep.
Right?
The tyranny of the minority.
Exactly, man. And so if we get heat for it, we have been here and there, but we're still continuing on with our channel. I mean, even YouTube itself has tried to bring us down, but we'll just find another way. Regardless, it's our voice. We want to be heard. Those that appreciate our opinion, right on, man. Let's go. Let's keep on going. We'll keep doing
Let's
this
do
stuff.
it.
But those that don't, hey, man, you're more than welcome to disagree with us. Let's have a debate. Now, I'm
do
not
it.
saying let's fight, but I mean a good debate, you know,
Right.
where we
Let's
can
just
still
talk about
respect
it.
each other's opinions.
Let's just talk about
It's
it.
fucking
Exactly.
welcomed. Let's go, baby. Stogies and stuff. Come on. We'll have a cigar with you later.
No shit.
Yeah, which
that's
we're
how it
still
goes.
pending a stogie on this episode. We have
Yeah.
them. We just
Guys, honestly, it's just for recording purposes. You know, we're not gonna smoke in here. And
Yes.
if we were to lease a spot to like a Divino or something like that, we could do that too. But to comfortably go outside and smoke a stogie while having clear audio, it's, for those of y'all from the valley, it's fucking hot
fucking
and humid down
humid,
here.
man.
Okay, so practically speaking, that's a no-go.
we tried it like what episode 1 or no?
We tried
basically,
it in the
we
first
should have had
iterations of our
we should have basically had like 5 other episodes where we were doing
unreleased episodes.
this. Unreleased. Mike still has them, but it was fucking humid. We were
Yeah, guys.
sweating. We didn't have the patience to talk about any of these topics. Mike and I were looking at each other like we wanted to tackle the shit out of each other because we're getting
no
frustrated with
shit.
each other. I almost thought we were in front of his pool. I thought he was going to tackle me in there. Just say, I'm done with this shit, you know? But that'll come with cooler weather. Cooler weather tends to be anywhere from December to March. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you never know. But yeah, guys, I mean, shit, we kind of went on a rant. Sorry.
But a good rant.
Yeah. The role of masculinity for its pros. Fuck those
Boom.
cons. Let's go, baby.
Well, bro, all I gotta say is valid rant.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I went on a rant, but it's for the good of the cause, the good of people.
Always.
To our subscribers, we're growing. We're gonna aim for
We
200.
really are, guys.
We're aiming for 200 before the
might
ends.
as well join now. Join the fucking following now, because it's growing.
Yeah, I want to be able to say, hey, I know you were following me from the very beginning.
That's
I
right.
appreciate you. You know, we got to come up with some merch.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're
that's
gonna
the
come up-
announcement for this episode.
That's it. I've been wanting to do it. I haven't made time for it, but we got some merch coming y'all's way.
Yeah, and it's
All right.
modeled like that.
And you know what's cool, guys? We've already been having some cool people message us. Hey, can I show up on your podcast?
We're gonna have some guests.
We'll be having some guests starting to come soon. I mean, it's getting that hype. People are appreciating it. We love the support. Thank you, guys.
and it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. So, thank you, guys. I guess we'll wrap it up here. Stogies and Stuff episode 10 is officially done. for the
EP10.
moon. That's right, EP10, baby, EP10. So we'll talk about some lighter stuff in the next podcast, some entertaining stuff. But we always talk about good topics here. No bullshit here. So thank you guys for joining us.
Stay tuned.